What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Town Biz. So I decided to do another stream because I wanted to just speak some boxing. You know, um, I didn't feel like doing no videos because y'all already know the process into, editing videos and all that stuff and loading them to whatever app you use. You have to like edit, load them onto the app, then you have to load them onto the channel. So sometimes that could take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes even an hour, depending on, you know, what you put in the video and what it features. But nevertheless, I just wanted to prove my point and what a lot of people were saying about Keyshawn, who had commented. Keyshawn sitting up saying that the Haneys are good politicians. Well, you about as good a politician as I don't know. Um, I don't know. You might be in the same category with Campbell Harris. Greens in the bathtub and all that kind of stuff. Um, but this is what Keyshawn does. Like I said before, a lot of people see Keyshawn for who he is. Keyshawn just comes across as a disingenuous clout chaser who loves to attach himself to, the hottest and most popular fighter. Here he is basically talking like he just was hell bent on fighting Devin Haney and all this kind of stuff. And remember when the Rolly fight fell through, you didn't hear him talking about I'm available because he already had made a deal to fight Nahir Albright in a rematch. Now I think it's gonna be in his hometown of Norfolk, Virginia. Like I said, let's just hope he doesn't get cold feet and intentionally, not make weight. So basically, he used that as an excuse, hoping that the dude pull out of this fight like De Los Santos did. At the end of the day, he had reservations. He had you know a sense of fear in fighting De Los Santos because De Los Santos is a hard puncher, and he land something meaningful. It could alter a fight. But the thing is with Keyshawn is just seen for having inconsistent energy. Like I said, he runs up on Abdullah Mason and he tries to talk crazy and try to disrespect Abdullah Mason, but then he's hit up left, letting these um, loser, um, Mexican clout chasing streamers or and slash, fake boxers basically walk up to him and say Mexicans run boxing, and once again, they don't run shit. At the end of the day, I'm black. At the end of the day, I respect fighters of all races. But at the end of the day, if I see somebody say something that's not factual, yeah, I'm going to speak on it. And on the side note, I can give two fucks about Jake Paul trying to do what he calls blackface. Jake Paul is just showing who he really is. At the end of the day, this thing with Drewski has made fun and poke fun at every race, from the black church to Muslims to just everybody. So first of all, there's no such thing as whiteface. He was doing comedy. It was a skit, but you put emphasis on saying blackface. So that just shows you who Jake Paul is as a person. I mean, it is what it is, you know. And Jake Paul to sit up here and act like he don't understand. Jake Paul, like I said, he's a Nimrod. Maybe Anthony Joshua didn't beat him up bad enough, but he knew better than to get up and just basically not make the 10 count because Anthony Joshua was finna knock him through the ring. Anyway, with that being said, let's get back to basics. So once again, this is the fight that Keyshawn had in store when he was sitting. He says one thing and does another. Obviously, this fight was already made at least probably maybe 3 to 4 weeks prior, maybe even a few weeks prior to him going on all these media outlets, basically contradicting himself. Now, keep in mind, once again, Keyshawn constantly called Devin out his name, and sat up there and defended Ryan Garcia. Like I said, a lot of these black fighters, they don't have no backbone. I just have to say, if I was a fighter, they wouldn't like me because I would be too truthful. Like I said, I'm not gonna play these games. I'm not gonna sit up here and play go along to get along. And I'm not gonna constantly throw fighters that look like me under the bus to build up my stature by throwing people that look like me under the bus. I don't roll like that. I just couldn't do it. But that's the difference between this new generation of black men versus generation. Now, listen, they got some black men that's from my generation that be cooning it up too. But you got some that's from some riders. You got a lot that's some riders. Like I said, the stuff that these new generation of black men put up with, like for real. I was talking about this with my brother the other day. When did it ever become a time where we was letting people run up on us, varieties of different people? You got Indian people trying to run up on black people. You got these Hispanics, you got Asians, you got all these because they don't respect black men. Really running up. Back in the day, that was a no-no. They knew better than to run up on a black dude because they know it would be instant consequences and repercussions. But now, this new group, like I say, they want to be combative with black people, but they want to give grace to everybody else. And this is the trickle effect of when you're raised by a black woman for the most part. Because black women have a lot of vitriol and anger, hostility, hatred towards black men, even though they want to blame everybody and their mama for them basically laying down, you know, and procreating with a dude for the most part that they say ain't shit. But you knew from the gate he wasn't shit, but you sat up there, was letting him shoot up the club, and then you had a baby, and you mad because he ain't doing what he's supposed to do as a father. Or you basically tried to make him be a father when he didn't want to be a father, and then you just can't figure out why he wants to have nothing to do with you or the kid when he told you he didn't want it. So, like I said before, and then these women will sit up there and say, "Oh, your daddy ain't shit." Well, you chose to have a baby bomb. So what does that make you? We never want to have those type of conversations. But like I said, this is this new generation of black men. You can just take a tell that a lot of these dudes didn't have a father in their life. And Keyshawn has been vocal about not having a father. And a lot of times he shows it. He want to call somebody a bitch, but he acted like a bitch when he sat up there and threw Devin Haney under the bus for basically getting cheated by Ryan Garcia. But then he says, "Hey, I got to make sure Ryan Garcia is clean, because I didn't fought people that was on PEDs." Okay, well, who were these dudes that you fought that was on PEDs? Give us some names. Give us some names. So you don't care because you might have won the fight. Listen, let's not be stupid. Yes, PEDs are not guaranteed to help you win a fight, but it sure as hell give you a chance. It gives you a better chance to win. So can we not, like I said, they are called performance enhancing drugs for a reason. They are banned for a reason. We have to stop playing stupid. Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, there are some people that can drive. There are some people that can drive home extremely drunk, incapacitated. Yeah, but at the same time, it's still illegal. You still ain't supposed to do it. Yeah, it's no guarantee that you're gonna, you know, um, get involved in a car accident, but it sure as hell betters your chances because you're incapacitated. You're under the influence. It betters your chances. Yeah. So let's not play these games. I know what the hell that I'm talking about. So this thing, like I said with Keyshawn, he just showing who he really is. A lot of these fighters are doing this stuff. You see quite a few of these dudes, but I already told you what I'm gonna start doing. But like I said, he just proved that he had no intentions on fighting Devin Haney. He just was using his name basically to help try to bring some notoriety to himself because he knew that this was going to be the fight that he was going to be taking. I promise you. He could have just said, "Hey, I'm gonna try to fight Devin Haney down the line," but he's constantly always contradicting himself. This is just who the dude is. He's just a master clout chaser. All that stuff about why won't nobody fight me and all this stuff. Listen, people are not, going the other way when they see Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is beatable. And like I said, Keyshawn Davis then made a fool out of himself a couple of times, just like when he's sitting up hitting the belt on the ground and stuff, when, you know, Andy Cruz got beat. You didn't do it. So there you have it. Anyway, appreciate you guys. It's your boy Town. I'm calling it a night. I'm out.